Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Time and temperature check. Are you ready for the time and temperature check? It is currently 6:08 p.m. on this beautiful Saturday evening, and it is a very fallish 75 degrees outside. Not pool weather whatsoever, but the makings for a beautiful evening. It's so sunny outside. There's a few clouds. Oh, I can see the moon right up there. It's a beautiful evening, actually. And I was sitting out here earlier, and my favorite neighbors walked by, and she was like, "It's a beautiful day, isn't it?" I said, "It is absolutely a beautiful day today." I said, "Not necessarily pool weather." I said, "But maybe we could put the pumpkins on the porch for Halloween." And she said, "Oh, I'm not ready for that yet." I said, "Oh, no, I'm not either." I said, "I'm ready for still some warm days." It's supposed to warm up a little bit this week. I was talking to my neighbor yesterday, because I said to her, "Are you going to go to the pool?" And she said, "No, I'm not going to go to the pool tonight. It's too cold." It got down to like in the 50s last night. And so, we decided that we weren't going to go to the pool last night. If she gets back tonight, I don't think we'll go to the pool either, because it's supposed to be in the 50s, low 60s as well. But she was texting me, and she said by the end of this week, it's supposed to be warmer. So by the end of this week, we will be back at the pool. So I'm hoping to have a couple pool days this week as well, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, and that's that. I filmed 2 videos today. I filmed a drama video that was supposed to be like a very like kind of funny, haha, lighthearted video, but at the beginning of it, I got very, very serious in it. I mean, I think I needed to say what was said. I was kind of talking about my history a little bit and my coming out and whatever. But then I turned it into, then it was this very lighthearted video. So anyway, hey, how are you? What are you having for dinner tonight? Salmon? What are you guys having with salmon? Couscous. Oh, delicious. Well, enjoy. Thank you. He came over and he like waved at me. Anyway, so I filmed this drama video earlier. Actually, I was going to take Saturday and Sunday off other than filming on my vlog. I wasn't going to film any other videos. I was just going to kind of relax and stuff. But when I got up, Alex was downstairs and he had just heated up some rice from the other night and I think some pizza. I'll talk about that in just a second. We did order puccinis last night. And so he was eating that and he was watching. He started the show last night. I don't have my phone with me, so I can't look what the show is, but it's like I think it's on Peacock, and it's like a gladiator show or something. He loves those kind of shows. You guys, my allergies the last couple days. Boo Radley has like been sneezing like crazy. Especially like when I bring him outside at night, he like starts sneezing like really bad. Alex has been sneezing, his nose has been running, my nose has been running, I've been sneezing, my throat's been itching. It's like allergy season is like at a full-time high. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I wasn't gonna film any videos, but I came downstairs and Alex was watching the show, and he has dinner tonight with I think 3 of his girlfriends. And so the dinner's at 7:30. He's currently taking a nap right now until 6:30, and then he's gonna get up and start getting ready, and he'll probably leave here at like 7. So when he leaves, I'm going to take a walk, and last night I walked for, I think it was like an hour and 5 minutes last night. So I'm going to walk tonight and hopefully make it over an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm trying to walk every day this week for close to an hour. So I'm going to walk tonight, and then when I come back, take a shower, put my pajamas on, and then watch a bunch of TV, and I'm honestly like really, really excited about it. So, yeah, so I got up today and I filmed this drama video. I was like, he was like, "Do you want me to move upstairs?" I said, "Where do you want to be?" And he was like, "I just want to stay right here," because he had a Snuggie on and everything like that, watching TV shows. And, Boo Radley was upstairs in bed with me when I got upstairs. So, made the bed and did all that, and then I filmed my drama video, and then when I came downstairs from the drama video, which I thought was going to be like 20 minutes and ended up being like 56 minutes, I started like rendering it and getting it up on the computer, and he like started standing up, and he was like still half asleep, and I was like, "Are you wanting to go upstairs?" He's like, "Yeah, I need to lay down." And I was like, because he was laying on the couch, and at that point, because he was like wanting to take a nap, and I was, apparently at some point when I was filming my video, his like AirPods, like he had been listening to him for so long, so like they died out, and he had them plugged in, so he turned the TV off, and he was taking a nap on the couch. And so when I came downstairs, he was like, "Yeah, I want to go upstairs and take a nap." I was like, "Okay, so I'll film this other video down here." And I had gotten this box of candles that I had ordered. This whole thing has been like, it's just, I love the candles. I love them so much, and I love this company. But I was so confused doing the unboxing. So I'll just say this here, but I also put like this huge thing in the description box. It's uploading right now, and I'm gonna put it as a pinned comment, and then on my next video I'll talk about it as well. But I opened this box, so I had ordered candles, but I didn't remember how many candles I ordered, and there was no receipt with it. But I'd also ordered the subscription box from the company, this Shy Wolf candles, which I loved them. Somebody had ordered them from me before, and it was just an Edge of 17 candle right here that I absolutely love. And so, and Gold Dust Woman. So I went on their website. I'd seen, I looked up something about them. I think it was their Instagram. And then on Facebook, like this, you know how that happens when you look up something, and then this ad came up, and it was their subscription box. And I was like, oh, they have a subscription box. So I ordered this monthly subscription box, which is $35. Well, when I opened the box, it wasn't like, they didn't have an envelope, they didn't have it separated or anything like that. It was just 6 candles, and then on top of that was like this personalized note card, this card that you get in there. You'll see if you watch the video. It's on my Peter Does Stuff channel. And then this crystal, and then this votive. Well, I thought, because that stuff was on top, I thought that was a subscription box. And so in my review, I said, I think it's just expensive for $35. I said $30. It's $35, and shipping and handling is included in there, because I went and I looked afterwards, because I was linking the channel to the video. And when I looked on there, it said that every month you get a candle that's like this size, and then you get a votive, and then you get like a spiritual card, and then you get a crystal. Those are like the 4 things you get every month, and like a personalized note, like a love note, it says from them. And I was like, oh, so you do get a big candle. But see, I didn't know that because there was no receipt, and the candles were all together. So I was like, I guess I just ordered 6 candles. I didn't remember how many candles I had ordered because I ordered it so long ago. So they put it all together. So I was confused. So I said in there that I didn't think it was worth $30, which if that were the case for what I thought was part of the subscription box, I wouldn't. But you get a bigger candle in there. So now I do totally think it's $35. Well, one of these candles is $22, and if you don't like the scent, you can swap it out. So that means, and then you don't pay shipping and handling. Shipping and handling is included in the price of the subscription box. So I think it's $22, so it would be $13. You get a crystal, a small votive, a personalized love note, and a spiritual card. I mean, it's still kind of expensive, but I think it's worth it for a fun subscription box. So now that I know that, now I understand. But it was all put together, and it was kind of like just laid on top of each other, so I didn't understand what was... Anyway, so, but that was confusing. But I loved the candles. The candles that I got, I really, really loved, so I was excited about that. But that was like a part of my video. So in my next video, I'll explain what happened on that channel. But in case anybody watches it, I also put it in the description box. I'm also going to pin that as a comment on there as well, explaining it. So that was my unboxing of these candles today. And, oh, people are riding bikes down the street. It's like a perfect day for bike riding. It was really sunny out, but the sun must have gone behind the clouds. So, I will say this. The last couple nights when I've gone to bed, I've been like, okay, I can sleep a little bit longer, so I'm going to take my pill tonight to sleep. On the nights that I take my pill, I struggle more falling asleep. And I don't know if that has anything to do, it's Doxepin is what I take. I don't know if it has anything to do with that, because the trazodone, I couldn't fall asleep on the trazodone either. But like I've said this a million videos, when I do fall asleep, I sleep deeper, and then I'm just kind of like it takes me a while to wake up. I don't feel like, people have explained that they feel like groggy or hungover. I mean, maybe it's been so long since I've been hungover that I don't remember, but I don't feel that. I just feel like I'm really struggling to wake up. I don't feel like that when I don't take it. And I still struggle to fall asleep. It seems to take me longer when I take the pill to fall asleep. But then when I fall asleep deep. I also realized that, like, I have to sleep like minimum 7.5, 8 hours for like me to feel awake the next day, whether I take the pill or whether I don't. So that's like, I've been tracking like when I take the pill and when I don't, when I go to sleep, how much I sleep, things like that. If I take a nap, if I don't take a nap, all this kind of stuff, I've been tracking it. The napping and the caffeine don't really seem to play into any kind of factor of me falling asleep. I've been tracking that as well. And so on nights that I drink caffeine and take a nap, I fall asleep just as easy, sometimes easier than nights that I haven't taken a nap. And it's almost kind of like, the only way I can explain it is like when I fall asleep is like, you know, like a kid that's like fighting so hard to stay awake because like, and they look frustrated. Like that's how I feel. I feel like I want to go to sleep so bad, but I can't fall asleep for the life of me. This morning when I went to bed, I like woke up Alex, and because I kept on like turning, and I go to the bathroom like every 45 minutes or half an hour or whatever. And he said to me, he like turned over and he was like, "You're really struggling falling asleep, aren't you?" And I was like, "I'm really having a hard time this morning." I mean, it just really frustrated me because I was like mentally really tired. And when I was sitting in a chair watching TV, I was like yawning and stuff. I could have watched another episode of a show. And I just was like, "No, you need to go to bed. Like, you're tired now, go to bed now." And then I get to bed and I can't fall asleep. I don't know, it's really frustrating. So that was going to sleep last night, and then I got up today. Like I said, I wasn't going to film any videos because I thought we might like run around and do errands and stuff, but I talked to Alex about it, and he was like, "Well, do you want to go today?" And I was like, "Let's just go after if we go to brunch tomorrow. Let's just go after brunch tomorrow if we go eat or not." And he was like, "Okay." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I don't think tomorrow I'm going to film any videos other than my vlog." So I said, and I just want to relax the whole day tomorrow. I said, I don't really have that many errands to run, but I have like 3 or 4 places I need to go. And he was like, "Okay, so you can do that tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, I've got enough coffee to get me through." I mean, this is probably the last iced coffee that I'll have, and I have like, you know, half a container left. So I got to get coffee tomorrow, and I've got to do some other stuff. The problem with going to the post office box tomorrow is that if I have stuff there, they hold it for me. So they're not open on Sunday. I mean, they're open. You can walk in and out, but there's nobody there to give you the packages. So yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do about the post office. But I might have them swing by there, and then if I have a package, like I can contact them and have them hold it until like, you know, Caroline gets back and we can go there or something like that. That was the one thing we could have done today, but I just, to be honest with you, he was like so cozy and comfortable. I was like, I'm not going to bother him. So he's going out to dinner with his girlfriends tonight, and he was like earlier, he was like, "Are you okay if I go out to dinner?" I was like, go out to dinner, go stay out, have fun. I'm watching shows tonight. I'm watching true crime tonight. So last night, Alex and I did order Puccini's last night, and it was funny because I was just going to get like a wedge salad and a small pizza, and so I asked, they don't really have they have like 8-inch pizzas there, but they have like 4 pieces of pizza, and so I ended up getting a medium. They have tons of vegetarian. I never really get pizzas when we go. Alex gets a cheese pizza, like a large cheese pizza, but I never get pizza at Puccini's, hardly ever. And I got this pizza, and it was very, very similar to the Quattro Formaggio from Basbo's, and it had like ricotta cheese on it and something else, and it was just like, they have like 10 vegetarian pizzas there. So I got that, and I said to Alex, I was like, "Are you hungry? Or did you eat enough?" I mean, this was literally like an hour and a half, 2 hours, not even, after he came home from dinner last night and had sushi. And I said, "Are you hungry?" He's like, "I'm so hungry, and I don't know why." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to order something from Puccini's. Do you want anything?" Because I really wanted the wedge salad. And he was like, "Yeah," he was like, "I want a cheese pizza and pasta." And I was like, "Okay." So I got him all that stuff, but I got this medium pizza. I don't remember what it was called. It was called like the paparazzi or something. I don't even know. But it had like ricotta and some other kind of cheese. It was just cheese pizza. And then I got a wedge salad. But when it came, I mean, it was a wedge with no bacon on it. It was a big wedge too. It was like this big. It was so delicious. But they put ranch dressing on it. I don't know why. And I love ranch dressing on everything else, but with a wedge, I do not like ranch dressing on a wedge. That's like the one time I don't like ranch dressing, but it was fine. It was good. It's interesting because it's like in-house ranch dressing, so it always like messes up my stomach. So I had like, I actually did really, really good. And this is like the only time I ate yesterday. So I had probably 3/4 of I think I got down and to the very end of the salad. So I ate like 3/4 of the wedge. And then, so I get extra cherry tomatoes instead of bacon on it, because it comes with bacon, so I don't get bacon on there. And they actually had it so you could order it with no bacon, which I thought was interesting. It was like one of the options. I mean, it wasn't like you had to go in and say no bacon. It was like wedge bacon, wedge no bacon. Oh, I got it. So when I ordered Alex's pasta, I got it. Like, you get a side salad with pasta. And so that's what I think for an extra $1.05, you got $1.05, you got the pasta, or you got the salad. So, because he didn't want a salad. So I was like, "Okay, can I have your salad?" And he was like, "Yeah." And so then I got the pizza, the medium pizza, and I had like 2 pieces of it, and they were real small pieces, but it was delicious. It totally was exactly what I wanted last night. And I told Alex, I was like, "Okay," because the wedge was done. And I said, "The pizza, you can have all the rest of the pizza if you want. I'm done with it. I have my fill for tonight. I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna throw it out, but you can have the rest of it." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." So, but that was fun. And we watched Real Housewives of Dubai, and we watched Real Housewives of Orange County. Oh, I said on here yesterday that Alex was done watching Big Brother. Okay, so I asked him, I was like shouting from downstairs, I was like, are you hungry? I'm gonna order something for Puccini's. And he was like, yeah, I'm really hungry. And so I was like, okay, well, you just ate. He's like, I know, but I'm still really hungry. I was like, okay, what do you want? And that's what he told me. So when we were waiting for the food, because we were waiting for the food to watch TV, I went upstairs and I was like hanging out in bed with he and Boo Radley. My leg is itching so bad. I don't know why. It's like I got a mosquito bite or something. And so we were laying there, and I said, because he said, well, when the food gets here, we can watch our shows. And I said, okay. And he was like, have you watched Big Brother yet, or do we need to watch that? And I was like, yeah. And like he even said that he didn't think that he was like real into it this season. And so I said to him, I said, do you want to watch it? Like, I mean, there's Wednesday and Thursday to catch up on. He goes, oh, I'm already caught up on it. I go, what? He goes, here's my neighbor in the corner saying hi to my neighbor next door grilling out. Oh, they're talking about, he's opening his mail. He's like, there's nothing there. There's nothing good there. They have all these leaves. Like, there's leaves in our yard, but they have so many leaves in their yard already. I mean, it looks like fall in Indiana. It's crazy. And now he's walking over here to say something to him. I might hear some good HOA drama if I'm oh, he said something about the other day. Let's see. Oh, they're talking about the pickleball courts because I talked to the lady that was playing. This is ladies that were playing down there today. No, I can't hear what they're saying. I'll just ask him. I'll just be like, what are you talking about with the pickleball? So anyway, Alex goes, well, do you need to catch up on Big Brother? Are you still watching? I go, I thought you weren't going to watch it anymore. I thought you were done with it. And he just kind of laughed. He goes, well, I've already watched. I said, well, there's Wednesday and Thursday because I know I've already watched them. I go, what do you mean you've already watched them? I said that you said you weren't going to watch anymore, that you were bored of it. He goes, no, but I'm really into it now. I go, oh, now you're really into it. He goes, yeah. So I think I'm just going to like save it and watch it with him. But I didn't even know that you watched it. He watched it. Oh, my throat is itching. He watched it like in real time when it was on Thursday night, the other night, or like right after like it was on or something like that. Because we recorded on our DVR and then I watched it on Paramount, so it has no commercials. But anyway, it's so funny. Like Alex and I talking about it. So we got in the whole like Big Brother conversation last night. You know, everything is compared to what I was going to say, Lost Island. Everything is compared to Love Island. You know, in Love Island, they did this, and that was smarter. And why are they having these stupid alliances? And why are they doing this? And why are they doing that? And so I'm trying to explain to him, like, oh, what did I say? I said something about somebody being, okay, so I really like Tucker, and he doesn't like Tucker. And I said, something about they'll get him out because he's really good at comps. And he goes, I don't even know what that word means. I go, competitions, Alex. And then I said something about backdoor, and he goes, what's backdooring mean? And so I had to explain to him what like backdooring means and stuff like that, because they don't do that on Love Island, apparently. On Love Island, they don't backdoor people, but on Big Brother, they do. So I was explaining all that stuff. He was asking me all the questions. It was so cute. We were like laying there in bed, and Boo Radley was like laying beneath us, and Alex was like, well, I don't understand why they kept Angela. And I'm like explaining all this stuff to him about how she's kind of like a shield and stuff like that. But so it's so funny because I'm now like kind of like, I did not like Angela at first, and I thought she was really cruel to Matt and stuff like that, but I'm kind of like in a weird way kind of like rooting for her now. I don't know why. And nobody that I know like likes Angela. I don't know, I can't explain it. I will be honest with you. I don't know. There's just something about Angela that I'm kind of like, I always kind of like root for the underdog a little bit, but she can't. I think what won it for me was I was reading, so I follow this account on Twitter, and it's like the only reason I go to Twitter anymore. It's like for the Halloween countdown, the Christmas countdown, and the Big Brother updates. And then when I read them, I get pissed, because I already know like who's up, who's playing the veto. I already know that kind of stuff, right? I already know that Quinn used his power and all this kind of stuff. So, which you knew was going to happen anyway. Nikki was like, I didn't know he was going to use his power. I said he has 1 week left to use it. They didn't kick him out last week. You knew he was going to use it. She's like, I didn't even think about that. I was like, Nikki, you're like, she is such a Big Brother fan. It's like, I don't understand. I shouldn't think about that. But anyway, but Brooklyn, who's trying to play it very cool, who's like this mother beauty pageant winner and all this kind of stuff, I liked her for a long time. I thought she was kind of boring. I thought she was kind of playing it safe. Because I was explaining to Alex, I was like, he goes, well, who do you think will make it to the end? I said T-Core will be at the end. I said Cam will probably be at the end. I said Chelsea will probably be at the end, because people that kind of like the what was her, Rachel Riley said back in the day, like, you know, floaters, get your life jackets. I mean, floaters make it to the end. They at least make it to the jury house. And so, like, Tikor and Cam aren't really stirring up a lot of problems. It's like all the heavy players, like, they didn't learn this last season. This is the same thing as last season. All the heavy players came out first, you know? And so that's why everybody, like, Bowie Jane made it to the very end, because she didn't make any moves, like, for the first, like, 10 weeks or anything, you know? So anyway, I was explaining all that to Alex last night. And, but apparently, this was like in the live streams. I don't watch the live streams. I did last summer, but I'm not this summer. I watched part of them last summer, not all of them, but from time to time I would throw them on. Back in the day, Tanya and I, when they first started, we would watch them all, and they would like whisper, and Tanya and I'd be like laying on the couch talking, and like they'd be whispering on the TV. We lived for it. But they are, Brooklyn is telling Angela, like, congratulations on winning Head of Household, because Angela wins Head of Household this week. This happened on Thursday. It's Saturday. And if you're a Big Brother fan, then you've already caught up. So if I'm not ruining it for anybody, I don't even want to hear that, okay? So anyway, I mean, if you're a Big Brother fan like I am, and I'm not even as big as some people are, then you already know all this kind of stuff. So anyway, so apparently, I wish I had my phone to read the exact quote. She says to her, congratulations on your HOH, you know, and she says something about, like, we still have power-ups in place, so it's going to be a good week for you. And Angela looks at her and she goes, that must be why you took Quinn in the bathroom to tell him to use it, right? Like, to use the power-up. And I was like, oh, and there always comments underneath her, like, go Angela, like, get her, Angela. It's like, Angela sees through everybody, but, like, she says it, and, like, but the Matt situation was uncalled for. She was really, really mean to Matt. I thought that was cruel. I didn't like that at all. But now I'm kind of living for, and very much they are playing to the audience this season, which is interesting. Like, I saw a live stream clip, where they were saying something about why Tucker did what he did, like, while he went off on Cedric, and somebody said, which is interesting, Cedric's up this week, but somebody said that he was, it's all for good television. I think Tikor said it. Tikor Chelsea said, I think it's Chelsea, because Chelsea and Cedric are pretty close. Cedric said he's playing to the audience because he knows this is what America wants to see. It's true. It's so boring. And, like, this season, there's already so much stuff that's happened. I just think that half of them are actors. I just don't think that half of them are real contestants. So, I mean, it just seems so contrived, a lot of it. So, Alex last night, he goes, I fast forward through all of the competitions. I go, well, I do some of them because he's bored. And now his wife has come out because she's, like, looking to see where he's at. She's got her nightie on. I love her so much. She just looked over there and she waved at him, and then she went inside. That's my pool friend. That's my pool crew friend. That we've been to the pool one day together this summer. This pool summer, I mean, I've gone a lot, but this pool summer, as far as, like, just hanging out at the pool with my friends, like, it has sucked. Caroline and I have not been to the pool together once this entire summer. And I don't know if it looks like we're going to be able to. And I've only been to the pool with her once this summer. My neighbor next door, not that one, but other neighbor, she was telling me that, like, she's been going up to the pool a lot during the day. Like, on the days that she, like, has her grandkids and doesn't have her grandkids. I haven't seen her up there once. So she and I have been the only ones that have been going to the pool. Well, Alex and I went up with them one weekend, and her friend's husband, and then her husband were up there. That was a really fun day. There really hasn't been, like, there just hasn't been, like, this is why I'm, like, I keep on filming videos every day, because I'm like, if there's a day that I want to just, like, take off and just, you know, film a vlog, I'm going to. But tomorrow, I'm not going to film any videos. So anyway, other than my vlog, he's walking back. I'm going to ask him about the pickleball court if he looks over here. He's not looking over here. Did you get any good mail?
Good mail.
Good mail. Y'all talking about the pickleball drama?
Yeah, hey.
What's going on with the pickleball court?
Put in 2.
They're putting 2 in?
They're just going to line 2, hopefully.
Oh, they're going to line 2?
Hopefully.
You don't even play pickleball.
I do.
No, you do not play pickleball. You are stirring up drama in this neighborhood. Look at you laughing. You know it's a trick. Look at you cowering. He's like going like this inside. Oh, my other neighbor went inside. He is over there stirring up drama. Just like, see, this is what I'm trying to get the drama at. He's over there talking about they're going to put up 2 courts now, apparently. it took us having to talk to the HOA director and all this president, all this kind of stuff in text messages and be like trying to get our way with the pool. And all of a sudden they get 2 pickleball courts. See, that is such crap. Let me just tell you what I think about that. Now I got to find out about the pickleball court. Now I'm so excited. When I called him out, he has never once played pickleball. My neighbor in the corner, my pool lady's husband, he has never once played pickleball up at those pickleball courts. He was just over there trying to start drama because he knows he's in the pickleball league. See, it's dirty. It's dirty-minded Satan worshiping. This neighborhood, no, true story, it is. It is. I mean, not really Satan worshiping, but it is kind of. They're all trying to get everybody stirred up. They know that he's going to get real stirred up about it. That's why, like, they're trying to all stir him up about it. But he's also like a rule follower, so he's not like somebody that's going to go and do this or do that. I never in a million years would have expected the pickleball drama for this. I mean, this has literally carried the whole summer. But yeah, this summer's, I mean, like, tonight, like, I mean, it would be cold to get in the pool right now, you guys. I mean, it's not even 8 o'clock yet, and I want to do a night swim. She and I have been wanting to do a night swim forever. And then finally, the president was like, just go whenever you want to go. If she'd said this to us in June, we would have been doing a lot of night swims, you know? They're not going to keep the pool open later. They're just not. We're not even going to fight about that. The only way I can think that they would keep the pool open later is if the president comes up with it on her own and she's like, okay, we had to close the pool down, because they closed the pool down for a week because of the pump, and so they should say, because we closed the pool down for a week because of the pump, we're going to leave the pool open for an extra week. But the problem is that last year we begged for the pool to stay open, and if it had stayed open, it was like 60s and 70s. It was no pool weather. So even if they keep the pool open another week, I mean, it might be too cold to go to the pool, you know what I'm saying? The other thing I'm thinking is that the annual cookout, the annual party in the neighborhood, which is like a huge deal, okay? They had to postpone it. I don't know why they had to postpone it. I can't remember. I think I talked about it on here, but they postponed it. It was supposed to be in June. I think it was the beginning of June or something like that. But a couple people in the neighborhood that are like a big part of it weren't going to be here because they were on vacation, so they had to postpone it. They postponed it to September like 10th or 15th. But it's always around the pool. So I'm thinking they might keep the pool open until the annual, like, it's like a block party, but it's not. It's like a neighborhood party, which is so weird because, like, we do this once a year, but, like, last year they started having, like, individual block parties. Like, if we just had, like, a block party right out here, and, like, there's certain streets have cul-de-sacs, and, like, they just had one, but just for their people in their cul-de-sac. Don't you think that's so rude? There's only, like, 80 people that live, like, what did I say, 113 condos or 112 condos in here? There's only, like, 100 people that live in this neighborhood. I mean, most people that live in here, it's not like they have families of 5. It's, like, they're by themselves or they have, like, a partner. That's it. In this neighborhood. I mean, there's a lot of single people in here. So you're talking maybe max 130, 40 people that live in this neighborhood. And probably not even that. And then they have these own individual little block parties. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do. I wouldn't probably even go even if they had them. But, I mean, I just think it's rude to the other people. Because people will be like, yeah, well, did you hear down on such and such street they had a block party? I heard it was really, really fun. They had somebody playing guitar. And I was like, oh, did you go? And they're like, no, I don't live there. And it was just for the people on that street. I'm like, oh my God, there's like some 75-year-old woman. Like, my feelings would be so hurt, you know? But I don't play into all that kind of stuff. If we had a block party, we'd have it right out here and we'd invite everybody. You know what I'm saying? We'd invite everybody. But anyway, yeah, it's been like not great pool weather in August so far, which is so weird because, I mean, August is, I was noticing earlier when I was walking outside that my shoes were like sticky, but they don't look sticky at all. These shoes are not sticky at all. They're like, there's nothing sticky on them. I think I'm like, this might be, I say this and then watch next year, these will be the first sandals I put on, but I'm kind of over these sandals, if you want to be honest, if you want me to tell you the truth. I've been trying to wear the blue ones more. The gray ones and these are the ones I wear the most, but I have, like, the black ones I take on vacation, like wear to dinner and something that's like a real casual place. Or like here, if we go out and I want to wear the plastic ones. The plastic ones are so much more comfortable. I love the leather ones, I love the clogs and stuff like that, but they're so much more comfortable. Somebody put in the Vlogarinos group the other day, they said, which Birkenstocks was Peter talking about that caused him blisters? And I said, I don't, because they said I want to buy a plastic pair. And then I commented underneath it, and I said, I don't remember which ones I said caused me blisters, but the plastic ones don't ever cause me blisters. And they don't. And they're cheap. They're not cheap, but they're $45, and they last forever. I mean, I've had these for a couple years. Most of the pairs I've had for a couple years. Mel tried to get cute underneath there, and she commented, I think I did call her out on it. She was like, all of them. Because I always used to, back in the day, get blisters. I don't get blisters from Birkenstocks. I think what they're talking about is a couple years ago, God, I don't even remember how long ago. It was the last time Alex and I were in Vegas, 5 years ago, when we were in Vegas together. He's gone with his girlfriend since, but we both got a pair of these Gucci like sandals that looked like Birkenstocks. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about them. The camera stopped, the battery stopped. And that was when I got the Gucci mules too, which are now my like go-to dress shoe. But I will say this, I don't know what maybe it was because like my feet were swollen or something when I was heavier. I don't know that I always got blisters or whatever. But now, with the Oxfords that I got from Untamed Street, like they were expensive, but I'm gonna get a brown pair and a suede pair for this fall and winter, because I wore them to everything last year. Never got blisters. Sometimes I wore socks, other times I didn't wear socks. Most of the time during the winter, obviously, though. I've been wearing socks more during the winter and stuff, even with like the clogs, Birkenstock clogs and whatever. But Birkenstocks, I don't remember ever saying that. If I did, I do not remember, you know? I'm sure there's somebody out there with a notebook that's watched every vlog and knows everything I said at any minute point for the past 8 years, but I don't remember that. So if I did, can that one person out there with that notebook that has written down everything that I said for the last 8 years, can you let somebody know what pair of Birkenstocks I said caused me blisters? Because I, honest to God, for the life of me, I cannot remember. I mean, I have some that are more comfortable than others, but those Gucci ones, I mean, I've literally worn them like 3 times. And like Alex had to take like his pair. So his pair are like the brown, like the old logo. Mine are like light blue, like the shirt, and like black G's on it. Alex had to take like a hammer to his to like wear down the metal on it. The first time wearing them in Las Vegas, I got a blister on my foot. But the mules are super, super comfortable. And it was interesting because when I went to Gucci to get Alex's like birthday stuff for him, the guy that was in there was so nice. I was telling him about it, and he was like, we had so many complaints about those sandals. I'm like, but they wouldn't like take them back like once you had worn them. He was like, I know. He was like, but we got a lot of, because I said something about another pair of shoes, and he goes, I wouldn't get those if you had problems with those sandals, because he was like, you're gonna like you're gonna get the blisters on them too. It's how the leather is made on the other side of it, which I thought was so weird. But anyway, Birkenstocks, I have a blue pair. Oh, you know which ones I think they might be talking about? I think they might be talking about the big buckled ones that have the back strap on them that are brown leather. I've been wearing those more now, though. But at first when I started, I think those are the ones she's talking about. Maybe I did say that they gave me a blisters. They didn't really give me a blister. It's where this part was, they were like cutting into my foot. And when I would loosen them, they would be too big. And so then this part would like cut into my foot. And if they were too tight, they would press into my foot. Now I've worn them enough that they're worn out, and I love them. They have a back strap on them. I love the Birkenstocks with back straps on them. I mean, most of my Birkenstocks are like these. I think these are called the Arizonas, that are like the 2 straps. I love those, but the ones with the back straps I think are sexy. I love them. Oh my God, where were we? And this woman had on, I love shirt dresses. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That look like button-down collared shirts, but they're like dresses. And she had like a white one on, and it was like unbuttoned, and she had like all these like gold coin necklaces on. It was very like subtle. It was really cool. And she had like long hair, and it was like all like back. And then I looked down, and she had like a pair of like old school like suede Birkenstocks with a back strap. I was like, that is such a sexy look. That is how I would like dress if I was a woman. I love those shirt dresses. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think those, oh my God, I love those shirt dresses so much. You know, and either loose or with like a little thin belt. I love those. When I see them like with a little thin leather belt, I'm like, oh, I love that. I love that look so much. But anyway, I love just a button down. So yeah, so I don't know which ones you're talking about. Maybe those. The only 2 that I've ever really had problems with are like, I have a navy blue pair, and the leather is so hard on them. I've had them for years. And the leather is so hard on them that I don't typically go to those. And then the brown ones, I think I bought those last year with the big buckle on them. I've worn them enough now that I've worn them out. I think I took them on vacation to Mexico, and I wore them like through the whole thing. I will say this. On vacation, I try to wear a heavier shoe so I don't have to pack. Like, I just pack the light ones because they're not as heavy to pack. I end up bringing like 6 pairs of Birkenstocks wherever I go. But in the airport, I usually always wear these camouflage. I think they're the Birkaflor ones that are the vegan leather. They are so, so comfortable. Those that I have, I love those. I always wear those to the airport, always, because they're so comfortable to wear to the airport. Anyway, what? What did you say? Did you say today was Saturday? Do you guys remember that poem? Anyway, so last night Alex and I watched Real Housewives of Dubai, Real Housewives of Orange County. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really know. I posted some pictures of Gina last night, and people were like, somebody sent me a DM, and they're like, you do realize that they filmed the confessionals, like, after, because Gina's hairdo is real bad in one of the confessionals. Shannon's was, too, in one of them. And I don't think Carolyn Stanberry has had one good look. It's interesting because Chanel Ayan and Lisa, a lot of the women on Dubai, their outfits for the confessionals are fantastic. Carolyn Stanberry, her outfits are horrible. Her hair is horrible in all the confessionals. But in Orange County, it was Gina had a real, it looked like an 80s hairdo. Like, it was bad. And then Shannon had like a bad confessional look too. And so I posted a picture of Gina's and I said, I'm so confused over just what happened to Gina's hair. And somebody was like, you do realize they filmed the confessionals after the season? I'm like, yeah, I know that, but I also just watched Watch What Happens Live a week ago with her and she didn't look like that at all. That is a bad hairdo. That is a hair down, Gina Kirschenbaum. But anyway, so this week's episode, to be honest with you, I was blown away. This Alexis Bellino has come back on the show, okay? She's now dating John Jansen, that is Shannon Beador's ex. I'm not a huge Shannon Beador fan, but I will tell you, I feel really, really bad for Shannon Beador this season. So now Shannon Beador, because Alexis Bellino is now a castmate of the show, she has to be at these dinners, at these things with the woman. Can you even imagine this for 1 second? She was just dating this guy last year. Then Shannon Beador gets a DUI, which they constantly are throwing in her face. And then after the DUI, and people are like, Tamara's constantly calling her an alcoholic and stuff like that. And I think that's such a dangerous word to throw around. First of all, that's not a label you put on somebody. That's a label they decide to come up with on themselves, number one. Number two, just because somebody has a DUI does not make them an alcoholic. I think that's a really poor misrepresentation. And she's talking about how, like, Shannon's been drinking for years, and they brought that up before. I think that's a private conversation. You pull somebody aside and you say, like, I'm really worried about you. People ask me this all the time. Like, you don't put them on full blast at a dinner table. So there's this dinner, right? And Shannon brings Vicky with her, which Vicky, she's always going to say some shit. It was so funny because at the very end of it, she's like, you're all good Christians, you believe in Christ, and, we need to be kind to one another. And Emily goes, I can't believe she came in here to lecture us about being a good Christian woman and how we shouldn't fight with each other. And she goes, can you cue the footage from old seasons when Vicky's going off on people? And then they show this montage of Vicky, like, going off on everybody back in the day and telling everybody F up. It's hilarious. So anyway, but Shannon brings Vicky, and they're all like, oh, she brought her for backup. Of course she did. She has nobody on her side, right? And so they start talking about John Jansen suing Shannon Beador for $75,000 because apparently she borrowed money from him for a facelift. She says it's $65,000. He's now suing her. So at some point, first, she, like, goes to order a drink, and she doesn't even order, like, an alcoholic drink. And Vicky says something like, well, you can have a drink if you want because you're not driving. And Tamara shouts across the table, and she's like, she's an alcoholic. She shouldn't be drinking ever. Like, this is at a sit-down dinner in a private room in a restaurant. It's like a speakeasy. You have to go through, like, this, like, thing. And the whole table, like, nobody says anything. Nobody's like, Tamara, enough. Like, seriously, like, that's too far. I'm an alcoholic in recovery. I would not allow that to fly at a dinner table. I would stand up. I would say that you're not going to speak to somebody that way. Like, you have that issue with them, you take them outside. And this is where Tamara, judge, crosses the line of what's good television and what she thinks. You don't speak to people that way. She's like, I took your calls for 10 years, you're drunk and funky. Well, that was your choice to pick up the phone. I have a choice every single day whether I pick up the phone with somebody that's drunk that calls me. You think I don't have wet alcoholics that calls me all the time? I sure as hell wouldn't be sitting at a dinner table calling them out and being like, you've been a drunk for 10 years and you're an alcoholic and you don't have it's so disgusting to me. It was so disgusting. And it goes on and it goes on. And she says, and Shannon's just sitting there and she's like, you don't know what I wake up with every single day, Tamara, because you don't ask. You haven't been there. And then Tamara keeps on firing back at her. And then somehow it comes up that John Jansen's suing her. And she goes, it's not, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And Alexis Bellino on her phone, she brings out these receipts of where John Jansen transferred Shannon Beador money for this facelift. So he's now given, this man that said he never wanted to be on reality television, I need to make a whole video about this on my Peter Watches TV channel, but this man that said he never wanted to be on reality television, I mean, Shannon was so protective of him not being on the show. This man that now never wanted to be on reality TV is now, you're telling me there's not enough women to date in Orange County, that he has to date 2 women that are on the same show? He's now dating the second woman. Oh, but wait a second. He gave her the receipts of money that he gave to, I mean, I just was blown away. Not to mention that and then she walks out, and the only person that comes out there is this Jen. I really like Katie this season, and I really like Jen, and they're so mean to Jen and Katie too. And I mean, there's just a bunch of mean girls. And I used to love Emily and Gina, and Emily and Gina are mean girls this season. And I mean, Heather Dubrow, who's usually kind of the voice of reason, she just kind of sat there and was like watching it. And she does say something to Tamara. She's like, Tamara, enough. But like after that, it's like she kind of gets gossipy about it. And I was like, this is where you want to always act like you're such a class act. Class act is that my mother always taught me class is how you treat somebody, not how much you have. You know, show how much class you have by standing up for Shannon Medore and telling somebody, even if you don't like her, this was not the way to go about it, right? And none of them really stand up for her. And Emily's just sitting there kind of laughing. Like, Emily's really, to be honest with you, other than Jen walking out and Vicky standing up and having this huge production, Emily's really the only one that she's like, seriously, Tamara? And she's like, I think Shannon's changed a lot. Emily's like the only one that really says, which is kind of in a way why I respect Emily, because like she'll say the hard stuff, but she'll say the easy stuff too. But then on Dubai, Chanel Ayan and Lisa get into a fight, and they're best friends. And Chanel cusses her out and kicks her out of her room. They're in Bora Bora or Fiji or something like that. And Lisa calls Chanel Ayan's husband, and it's like, I'm so upset with Chanel. I'm telling you right now. I mean, Alex goes, I cannot believe that she did that. I'm telling you right now, if I got in a fight with one, like if Tanya and I got in a fight, which we don't, but let's just say if we did, and she called Alex, I mean, Alex would say, Tanya, this is between you and Peter, don't call me. Don't involve me in this. And vice versa. I would never, why would you bring the husband in that? It was such a bad look. Not to mention, and I know this is not a popular opinion, I do need to make a whole video about this, but it's like, Lisa shared this voice note with Chanel, and then Chanel shared the voice note with Stanberry and Caroline Brooks, and Lisa's pissed that Chanel shared the voice note. Well, Lisa, you were the first one to share the voice note, and now everybody's mad at Chanel when you were the first one. Nobody's mad at you. The whole thing is so baffling to me. But anyway, so we watched that last night. Then Alex, oh, that's when he said, do you want to watch this show with me? It's got the guy from Silence of the Lambs in it. You know what I'm talking about? Some gladiator show. Alex loves that stuff. I was like, you know I don't want to watch this show. Are you going to watch it? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to start watching it. So I think I went outside, I called Tanya Jane, talked to her, I talked to some other people on the phone, and then I came back in after like a half an hour or something, and I was getting ready to lay down and take a nap. And so the whole downstairs was, all the lights were turned off. I was like, I thought you were watching the show, so I went upstairs, and he's like in bed and he has a TV. I go, are you going to watch the TV show up here? He goes, yeah, do you care? He has his AirPods in. So I go, no, I love when you're up here when I take a nap. It's so cozy. So I took a nap last night. Oh my God, I slept so deep. And then I got up, and I got online and I ordered some Treat Beauty chapsticks last night. And what else did I watch last night before? Oh, I finished season 1 of Dark. I'm so confused by that show, but I love it at the same time. Like, nothing makes sense on the show. I feel like the only people that understand what's going on in that show are the writers. Do you guys know what I mean? If you've watched Dark, you'll know what I mean. I'm so confused. There's like tunnels that go back in time, but then there's also machines that make people go back in time, clocks, and then there's also a chair that makes people go back in time, but it kills people. And then it's every 33 years. I'm so confused about the whole thing, but I have to tell you, like, I absolutely love it. I don't know if it's just the mood of it, but I just love it and being confused and kind of trying to figure it out. It's very similar to Lost. It has very Lost and From. It's like a mix of Lost and From. I really love it. So thank you for all those out there that recommended Dark to me. And then I said in my video yesterday that somebody said the second and the third season were horrible, and somebody commented and said, no, the third season's the best. So now I'm kind of like excited again. But I'm going to keep watching it no matter if it's shit or not. The next, 25 cents for the co-star. But then I started season 2, and because season 3 ends with, oh my God, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's so confusing what happens at the end of season 2, and then it's in the future. So I'm like, I got to go find out. So I start season 2, that's supposed to be in the future, and it does start in the future, but then it goes back even further in time than they were before. It's so confusing. I'm so confused by it, but I love it. I don't know how to explain it, but I love it. I just sit there and I watch it like this the whole time. The character development on the show is fantastic. Why is my favorite the Katerina girl that was like a complete bitch in 1986 in high school that reminds me of like all these girls that I knew. And then she marries the cop. And this was so mean. This won't ruin the show for anybody, but I just had to say this for anybody that's watched Dark. So she goes and confronts this woman that has been like gunning for Katerina's husband. He's the cop for like since they were like in junior high, right? Like even accused him of like R-ing his now wife and all this kind of stuff, which was completely made up. And he's been having an affair with her for all these years. So he breaks off with her because their son goes missing. And so he's like, we're done. This affair is over and all this kind of stuff. And so the woman goes to her house because she thinks he's there because he goes missing because he's back in time. And so he confronts her, or she confronts this woman, okay, that's been having an affair with her husband. And she looks at her and she goes, I just want you to know it's over. I called it off. And I'm like, you didn't call it off. You want to talk about sick, a sick person, okay? She goes, I called it off. She goes, he told me that he was in love with me and that he wanted to leave you for me. I'm like, what? Like, this woman just lost her kid. Like, her kid is missing. She doesn't know where her husband is. And now you're literally putting a pound of salt in the wound. And she says to her, she goes, he told me that he doesn't love you anymore and he never loved you and he's in love with me and he wants to leave you to marry. None of this is true. And I'm like, and the woman's like sitting there bawling. I'm like, this is so sick. Like, these people are so sick. So anyway, but there was this true crime documentary that I wanted to watch. A lot of people have messaged me about, and it was called At Wit's End. I feel like I've kind of heard a little bit about this case, but I don't really remember that much about it. It's about a girl named Melissa, what they call Missy Witz, and that's why it's called At Wit's End. And it took place in Arkansas in 1994, which is interesting when they show like back images of it and stuff like that, because that was the year I got sober. And so she goes missing, and then it's kind of tied to this other case. Don't tell me anything. I've only watched the first episode and like 5 minutes of the second episode. It is done so well, but it's on Hulu. And so when I went to Hulu and I was looking for it, they just released like 10 new true crime documentaries, and all of them look good. In fact, what I would recommend to you is there's one that comes, if you're going to watch the At Wit's End, I did not watch this one, but I'm going to watch it afterwards. There is a guy that they implicate in this, and there's a documentary called What Happened to Morgan or something like that, or Where's Morgan. It's about this girl that was kidnapped and then he tried to kill her. There's a whole documentary about that, and it has the same FBI agent that's in this one. I would watch that one first because that one came out like a year or two ago, and I just saw it come up now, and I almost watched it first, but I was like, this one's getting so hyped, it's on like the top 10 list, I want to watch it. But they reference stuff about that case a lot in this show. So if you're going to watch At Wit's End, I wish I had watched this first. I might go back actually and go back and watch that one and then continue with At Wit's End. It's Morgan something. Look on Hulu. I know the documentary's there. It's something about like Where's Morgan or What Happened to Morgan or whatever. And it's a documentary series or just one episode or something. I don't know. But it explains this guy that they implicate in the Melissa Witz case. But it's really interesting, and the whole thing is told through, well, most of it, the first episode, is told through the point of view of this, or Charlene, I think is her name. She's like this newscaster, and she reminds me of somebody that we have as a newscaster here in Indiana, this Angela Gannot, who actually was in the documentary about that OBGYN in Zionsville that like fathered like 100 kids. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's called like Our Father on Netflix. Yeah, that took place like, I used to like, on my driving vlogs, I used to drive like right by his office in Zionsville, although I didn't know that at the time. But then they did this whole documentary about him called Our Father on Netflix. It's, oh my God, it's so weird. All these people find out that they have like 100 brothers and sisters through like DNA testing and like 23andMe and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I watched the first episode. It's really, really well done. And somebody recommended it to me, and they said it's very Midwest. It's scary like you. It is. It's very scary. So I started the second episode of that, and then I was like really thinking about whether or not I wanted to go back and watch the Morgan one. So I was like, I think I'm going to do that. So I turned it off, and that's when I went to bed and tossed and turned all night long. So tonight, I don't know if I'm going to finish that one or if I'm going to watch the Morgan one first. I feel like I should go in and watch the Morgan one first because they talk a lot about it in this case. And like the second half of the first episode is all about that case and this guy that got charged with this whatever. But that already happened before this one started. And so I'm like, I feel like I really should know everything about that case before I watch this one. So I think I'm going to watch that one first. Maybe. I don't know. And then I also want to watch the second season of Dark. And then I still have Below Deck Mediterranean to watch and Sister Wives. So I have lots of TV shows to watch tonight. I'm real excited about it. And tomorrow I'm just going to do a vlog and go to brunch. So, yeah. That's that. I have like 3 weeds I need to pick over here. And that's like all the weeds that I have in this area. I'm very proud of that. Kept these weeds up this time. And there was like 3 weeks where I didn't pick the weeds at all. But I have like 3 weeds right over here. And other than that, he must be done with the salmon because he stopped grilling. All right, well, listen, I'm going to do a little, I've been doing like over hour vlogs, so I'm going to cut this one a little bit short, go inside, render this, get this up going, and then when Alex leaves, I'm going to go for my walk and come back and take a shower and have a good night watching TV. Now watch, she'll go out to dinner and they'll all like, because they all have boyfriends, and so they'll all be like, oh, let's just go home, and then they'll come, Alex will be home about like 9:30 or something. I love spending time with my husband, but we have spent a lot of time this week together, and I'm like, for him to be gone for like, you know, have like a little bachelor night with Boo Radley and watch my shows and coffee and light candles and stuff. I want to light some of my new candles tonight. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things that I haven't talked about in a very long time. 1, you can start your day over anytime you need to, or your week, or your weekend. If you're having a bad day or bad week or weekend, just be like, okay, I'm starting it over right now. Going forward, I'm going to live in gratitude, positivity, kindness, and peace, and happiness. At least for the next hour. Number 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. Just do it to be nice, and I'm going to, and speaking of that, I don't know why, but I'm going to find out the pickleball drama. Always find out the pickleball drama. And number 3, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much it means to you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face. You might be changing their day for the better. You might be making them happier, and you might be making them not feel so all alone. Also, be kinder to one another. Love one another a little bit more. And most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves. Now, when I say that, it sounds like Julie from Big Brother when she says, love one another. And from Good Night, Big Brother, and love one another, or whatever she says. Anyway. Also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder to yourself and love yourself a little bit more, because if you're kinder to yourself, and we all should be, because we're all, at some point or another, or even right now, are going through tough times, and when we're going through tough times, sometimes the person we're not the kindest to, that needs it the most, is ourselves. So be kinder to yourself, because when you're kinder to yourself, you'll be kinder to others, and you also deserve it. And love yourself more, because when you love yourself more, you will love others more as well, because you can't give away what you don't have yourself. And also, you deserve it. And whatever you're going through right now, if you're going through a tough time, I'm sending lots of prayers and positivity to you and lots of love, and I hope that it passes quickly, and allow yourself to feel your feelings and emotions, and don't feel that you need to explain them away or make excuses. Just live out loud and live your feelings, and also remember that this too shall pass. What you're going through right now, this too shall pass, and there will be brighter days ahead. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and for those that just happen to stick around, those that wanted to stick around, those that want to hear it, those that need it, whatever. One more, I love you. I love you guys so much. I haven't done this whole outro, and it's been a while. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.